Hello, good evening, and welcome to our third edition of Curl Talk. Tonight, joining me is the amazing Kathy Robinson, and we're going to talk about wellness with a focus on alopecia. So, Kathy, welcome, and thank you for joining us again for a second episode of Curl Talk.
Hi.
See the energy she brings?
Thank
I
you.
tell you, the amazing Kathy Robinson.
Thank you, Gayle, for having me on again. I am happy to be here and I
Okay, so
appreciate being here. Coming back to you.
okay, all right. So, guys, dive right into it and tell you we're just going to go through a few things. We're going to first tell you what is alopecia. We're going to tell you the causes of alopecia, the symptoms, and the treatment. And then we're going to dive right into the wellness part. So, there's four types of alopecia. There's alopecia areata, and I hope I'm saying this right, which causes patchy hair loss, and it's often in circular shapes. There are three other types, and I'm just going to touch on them briefly because I think you can actually research that yourself and find out what they are. What we want to focus on is the wellness part. So I'm just going to browse through this quickly so we get to the meat of it. Other types, androgenic alopecia, which is hereditary hair loss. There's telogen effluvinium, and I hope I'm really saying these right, temporary hair loss due to stress and illness. And there's alopecia universalis, which is complete hair loss from the scalp. So, um, what causes alopecia is it's believed to be an autoimmune disease where the body's immune system attacks hair follicles. So, other types of alopecia may be caused by genetics, by hormonal changes, medical conditions, or even um, hairstyles
Medication.
that put a lot of tension on the
It could
hair.
be an after
So,
effect.
I know for a fact one of my customers, Kathy, are you saying something?
No, go ahead. I was saying also
Oh,
that
I
it
was
could
hearing
be
an
a
echo. I'm
side
sorry.
effect. It could be a
So I
side
know
effect.
that certain hairstyles can put tension on the hair.
Yeah. Okay,
All right. Some of the main symptoms is hair loss. And that can happen suddenly or gradually, and it can affect any part of the body, although the scalp is the most common affected area. Okay.
right.
There's no really cure for it. There are treatments available that may help slow down the hair loss process. There are treatments that may stimulate hair growth or conceal the hair loss. And treatment options depend on the type and the severity of the alopecia. Okay, so if you have any questions on any of what I covered, please put them in the comments and we're going to address them. But we're going to get to the meat of it, which is wellness. So, Kathy, you are the wellness expert here.
Okay.
If someone has
Yeah.
alopecia, what would you suggest that they do in terms of wellness?
Well, we know there is no cure for alopecia, right? Um, as I said, there may be certain things that may slow down the hair loss and stimulate hair growth or conceal the hair loss, like wigs and things like that. A lot of people who have alopecia, you can see them wearing wigs. A lot of them do wigs. Um, and there are different levels of severity with regards to alopecia. Some I will just go into that medical aspect of it first, okay? The common treatments may be topical medications. Topical means you place it on the
Okay,
scalp,
sure.
direct application. Steroid injections, which can be, there is this thing relating to steroids and too much steroids in the system that alone also has its after effects. We're putting too much of these steroids in the system, and also light therapy. We There also is hair transplantation. That is very popular even among the men, where can actually put in strand by strand by strand in the scalp. That's one other thing. We know, and we're not going to focus only on women because we know also men are affected by baldness. And in extreme cases of alopecia, that's the
Right. Right.
effect. The eventual thing is they go bald, or they have to end up cutting off all the hair because to be patchy. Either you have at the front is balding, and the hair is at the back. As you say, it can be also a side effect of different type of hairstyles. You know, tight hairstyles, cornrows, braids, different kinds of treatments, hair treatments. But dealing with this on the side of wellness, there are many different things. Let me just go off to start with a story of someone I know who, a young girl, she's younger than me. I shouldn't say young girl. She's a young lady with a family, with a good career. And from since she was in private school, you know, there was patches of hair loss. And she would be bullied like what everybody else would do as young children. Oh, you're losing your hair, you're patchy, you know, give names. So that in itself, as an adolescent and as a child growing up, where during that period of a child's life, you're forming your identity. Who am I? Where do I belong? That now
Mm-hmm.
triggers down to
Yeah.
the young person, or with her losing a lot of confidence and self-esteem, feeling small, or I am this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, because so much of our beauty is attached to our physical appearance. And with women particularly, a lot of it is attached to our
Right.
hair, hence hair products. You know, that is really the
Mm-hmm.
trend right now. What products gonna make my hair grow
Yay.
thicker or fuller? My or when we hit the age of 50 or a little maybe 40, or genetics too, our hair starts thinning and we get crazy because why? We start feeling insecure about our appearance.
Mm-hmm.
We start feeling I am not worthy enough. People, I won't be accepted. I will be laughed at. It's an embarrassing thing. It affects your confidence. It affects your charisma. It affects your productivity, because everything we do
Mm-hmm.
is comes from our inner being. And if our inner being is not healthy, is not peaceful, it's going to reflect in our outer world. Fast forward a couple years, this young
Right.
lady started using wigs because now the hair is totally gone. Okay, patchy wigs, all kind of wigs.
Mm-hmm.
She spotted those things. I tell you, she spotted them. She um, had different wigs for different outfits, and I always looked at her and admired the confidence in the wigs, um, knowing that she had hair loss, but her wig styles always fitted her. And she, what made it even more telling too, she was a news reporter. Okay, so
Mm.
um, last year I met her again, and she was totally bald, no wigs. I'm like, what happened here? And she said,
Wow.
girl, let me tell
So
you
she had like
something.
a big transformation
A
then.
big
Yes.
transformation. And
Uh-huh.
she's girl, let me tell you something. There were certain things going on in her life, as in her personal life as well. And then she just got an aha moment. She said, this is not gonna work for me anymore. This is who I am, this is where I'm at. And who doesn't like it? As we say, when we go, who doesn't like it? You lump it. You don't like me? Then you are not supposed to be in my circle. You want to criticize me? Then you're not supposed to be in my circle.
Right.
She got into a whole transformation of wellness, which is the first thing, self
Mm-hmm.
acceptance and body positivity. She accepted that, this is what it is. I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to spot it, and I'm going to spot it good. And so she changed it helped change her whole image. There was a different energy around her, even though there was already a
Right.
positive energy, but she said to me, this whole thing just changed, brought about a peace within me of accepting that this is what it is for me. And having to wear wigs all the
Mm-hmm.
time in itself brought about a sense of insecurity, because it was about pleasing how people looked at her as
Looked
opposed
up.
to how
Right.
she looked at herself, and this makes
Mm-hmm.
a big difference. This makes a whole big difference. And it's all about dressing it up, the earrings, the jewelry, the clothes. And she's doing a big, and sometimes, you women or men can be the most attractive in a crowd, not on their physical appearance, but the level of confidence they exude, how they sit, how they carry themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And this has a lot to do with how much you accept yourself, how much you love yourself, how much you say, well, this is me. Take me as I am, or scoot on the corners. And she did a great, great job at that. So
Mm-hmm.
it eliminates a lot of the anxiety about being accepted in a crowd. And some of the things we spoke about in terms of continuing that thing as well is what I do in terms of self awareness. Well, that but a whole bit of self awareness for her. But how do you continue it? Because of course it can be very telling and taking on the person, because people will comment. People still are very nasty in terms of saying things to people. And sometimes you don't, and sometimes again, they do not know what to say or how to say things. They'll say, hey, you cut your hair, or you going bald. Maybe not in an intentionally bad way, you know. But sometimes we have to be very,
Right.
very aware of what slips our mouths. A common thing
Mm-hmm.
for some people, you walk down the street, one street within 10 minutes. You meet five people that tell you you put on weight, and you'll meet another five that tell you you lost weight, and both will tell you you're looking good. Although some might say you put on weight, you know, it's just a matter of people's perception, or to put a snapshot of you, which doesn't or shouldn't define who you are. Who you are should be defined by yourself and your self acceptance of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because all who you are is within you. All who you are is within you. Yeah. So meditation, of course, exercise, good diet, which I still working on because
Mm-hmm.
I like to eat. Mm, mm, good food.
I
Oh
had
my
that conversation with
goodness.
somebody yesterday. Yesterday, I had that conversation about food and just standing in front of the pantry and saying, okay, what should I eat now? And pick up anything instead of thinking making a healthy choice, right? I had that
Right.
conversation yesterday. Yes. Diet is
Yes.
a
Is
big part of,
diet is a big, big part.
alleviating most of our problems.
Yeah, and pretty soon, we might have that conversation again, because I'm also going to be doing it on home conversations with regards to diet, um, which impacts everything, as physical appearance, how you feel about yourself, how heavy you feel, how light you feel, how comfortable you feel in your skin. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about alopecia. So the diet is part of it, but as
I
well.
know.
So also in getting
Yeah.
along that journey, so the first part would be self acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
Another aspect would be a support group. And if it's one thing I always said, if you cannot find one, then create it. If you cannot find something, create
Right.
it. I actually had a conversation with my daughter when she was in college. She couldn't find an art club. I'm like, so go create it. It doesn't exist. So go ahead, start it up. It doesn't matter if it's one person or two
Mm-hmm.
people, but sometimes there are people who just waiting for someone to initiate it for them to come together. You'll be surprised the
Yeah.
amount of people
Right.
who are suffering with that illness. There are a lot. Nowadays, if you just walk around any particular space, wherever your space is, you will see the amount of people, women, who are going bald, like a hairstyle. A lot of men are cutting off their hair too bald, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more accepted in men because we figure it's men. But why are they cutting off all their hair? Is because the
Right.
top is going bald. And because they're not
Bald,
comfortable
right.
with
Uh-huh.
themselves, they just cut everything off and spot it as a hairstyle, a hairdo, a
Mm-hmm.
style, a trend,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if they had the opportunity to get hair transplants, I'm sure a lot of them would take it, you know. So,
Yes.
but it's not only
Mm-hmm.
about the hair. It's about, yes, hair, having hair is good. We all want to have nice hair, and Gail makes a nice products for us to fluff out our hair and everything. But if you're a sufferer from the illness of alopecia, it's not also a bad thing either. You can sport it just as good. There, in and get in going to group therapy. You could do therapy for it. Form a support group if you cannot find one, whether it's physical, whether it's online. Form a group. Create a niche in your village. Who is your village? Who is your tribe? Who is part of your tribe? There must be a supporting elements within your environment and within your space. And if there is any person in your tribe or your village that is critical of you, then they're not your tribe and they're not in your village, let them go. I think we had that conversation the last time too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because anybody who's there for you is not going to
Mm-hmm.
give you
Mm-hmm.
negative feedback or criticize you to the point that you're going to feel less of yourself. And all of those things is going to lead to a sense of physical wellness, because when you have inner wellness, sorry, you might see my hands kind of white, just a by the way. I was doing painting with the kids in school. I couldn't take up the
Oh,
paint.
okay.
So yeah. So I unaware,
I didn't
I
even
begin
notice
to say,
though.
"Oh,
It's when you say that I look
there's a lot."
closer.
Yeah, is spray paint will branding the chairs. So yeah,
Mm.
physical wellness, physical wellness. Just give us a physical wellness, because physical wellness is the after effect of inner wellness. And by doing the meditation, by going to therapy, by having a support group, it helps manage your stress, because alopecia could also be a result of stress. So your hair is falling out. A lot of people I've known
Yes.
as well have clumps of hair fall out because
Mm-hmm.
of the level of stress they're going through. So you have to take care of your
Yeah.
scalp, get the right
Mm-hmm.
products for you. I would recommend natural products as well. First, massage your scalp, take care of your scalp, even though the hair is not growing, but take care of your scalp. And as we mentioned, so
Mm-hmm.
stress, take care of your scalp. Treat your scalp the same way you would treat your scalp if there was hair growing there, because your scalp is still very much a part of your body. Your scalp has a lot of sensory neurons in there, and massaging helps eliminate a lot of tension. And you can do it by yourself. Find the pressure points. You have pressure points by hair, pressure points behind your neck, that's it, right here. You know, pressure points in the center of your head, pressure points right here, right here, okay, right here, between your eyes, right here. Find your pressure points and massage, and that helps to relax you. That helps to
Okay. Can we go to
relax
those
the movement.
pressure points?
Sorry, mention the pressure points again.
Right. I'm talking about pressure points. Pressure points. There are different pressure points. No, I was asking, you mentioned pressure points like in the back of your head, in the front. are they all related to the scalp in that area?
Well, these pressure points can be found in your scalp, yes, but
Did
your
you hear
pressure
me?
points
Yeah.
are related to different parts of your bodies. Certain parts. So we can do a whole session with regards to pressure points with regards to your hair and everything. But your pressure points, like here. So if we just okay, let's just do the temples. Put your hand on your temples. Take your index fingers
Uh-huh.
and place it in the hole right there.
I'll do it
Come
too.
on, let's
Take my.
do it, Gail. Do it with me. And then take the other
Mm-hmm.
index finger and put it
I'm
here.
doing it. I'm doing it.
Okay, all right. So the video is just a bit slow. Press it. Press. You should be actually feeling like you're going to lose. If you press
I
it too
was
hard,
doing it. Yes. Right here, right?
you're you're feeling it, right? Then go in a
Okay.
circular clockwise position.
Yes.
One finger at a time. So
Mm-hmm.
you're rotating the fingers and
Okay.
relax your body. Sit down comfortably at the same time while you're exerting pressure on there. And then let it go. Press again. Press it again and then go circular. Press it. Breathe as you're doing that. Take a deep breath in and let go. Just relax. How does that feel for you? How did that feel for you? I think we lost Gail.
Very relaxing. Very relaxing. Yes.
And that wasn't even 2 minutes.
Was that?
So I said that wasn't even 2 minutes.
I know.
So
Right.
by
Right.
finding
Mm-hmm.
so by finding the pressure points and helping, but as we're talking about the scalp, I was just talking about the scalp because in the head first it can help, by just using your fingertips, place it on your scalp and just rotate this, massage this scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your hand like you're opening, like you're using a claw method, opening and closing your hands over the scalp. You can actually feel the scalp moving. That is good for hair growth as well, for stimulating the um for stimulation of the hormones and everything else, in your
The hair follicles.
scalp
Mm-hmm.
and your follicles. Thank you. And helping you to
Mm-hmm.
relax. A lot of nerve
Mm-hmm.
endings and everything else is all there
Right.
too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Okay.
So
I want to
that's
go. I
that's a
want to
good
go
way
to
of
the.
relaxing.
I want to
Mm-hmm.
go to the. Okay. I want to go to the point of stress management. A lot of alopecia people, patients, lose their hair based on stress. It is on stress management and how we can,
I lost.
alleviate some of the stress that we have.
Sorry, Gail. Could you repeat because I lost you there for a minute?
Oh, oh, really? Okay. So I was saying that a lot of a high percentage of alopecia people or patients have hair loss based on stress. Did you get that?
Oh, did you say
Are you hearing me, Kathy?
no, it keeps on breaking up. I'm sorry. We are speaking about stress management. Did you speak about high blood pressure patients?
Oh, really? Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
No, I
A
didn't say high
high
blood pressure though. I just said how can you help a high percentage of alopecia people, patients have stress. They lose their hair based on stress because of
Oh,
stress.
okay. Okay. So you said that how do we help the alopecia patients whose loss of their hair is because of stress? How do we help them manage that level of stress? Is that the question? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of it also has to do with exercise, stress management techniques. journaling, meditation, as I said, finding the pressure points as part of your exercise routine, and relaxing yourself. Find a routine throughout your day at the end of your night so that you can relax. um let out that daily thing, as well as prioritize what are your stressors, what is causing you stress, because sometimes we stress over, well, I don't want to minimize it, what people stress over. um so let me say this: whatever is stressing at any particular point in time, the important thing is journaling it. Put it down, write it. So journaling is an extremely good coping skill when it comes to stress management, because we can go back, review what we wrote, and in writing it, we get answers, because a lot of the answers are within us already, you know. But when we get triggered in the instant, we kind of think, we feel the blood rushing up to our heads, we lose clarity, we feel the heat in our ears, and we kind of think we have, and then that leads now to a level of anxiety. So we're always in this anxious state. Write it. Carry a journal, whether it's on your phone, digital or physical. I love writing, so I write. As opposed to doing it on my phone. You go back over it, and in whatever triggered you, you ask yourself. I always go back to the W's again. What was the situation? Why was I so upset about? What was my trigger in that situation? Because we can only understand what our triggers are if we give a label to that feeling. What am I feeling in that instant? It's not only just anxiety. Don't label the full thing anxiety. What exactly is the feeling? It could be fear.
Mm-hmm.
What am I fearful of? Because fear is stress. When she said that to me at work, I felt like that was going to cost me my job? Did I feel threatened? Did my job feel threatened? Did I feel belittled or demeaned? What was I feeling? And then in that moment, you can address the feeling, because only when you know what it is that you're feeling, you know how to deal with it, or take steps to be able to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Exercise, a routine for exercise. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes. You get up and you do a walk every day, don't you, Gail? Do you walk every
I
day, don't
do.
you?
And you know what,
Right.
Kathy? I had stopped doing it. I do, yes.
Go
I do
ahead.
in
You
the
said you had stopped.
mornings now. And then if
Okay.
the afternoon permits, I do another one in the afternoon. Because I was so busy with markets, but I started again this week and I do one in the morning. And then if there's time, I do another one in the afternoon. So yesterday I did two walks yesterday.
And it doesn't have to be long. How long are your
I
walks?
hope you can hear me.
Yes, I'm hearing you. How long are your walks?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yes, 20 minutes. And sometimes on your phone, I know on my phone, I have
Uh-huh.
an iPhone. There is this fitness program on your iPhone. It tells you when to get up and walk. It tells you when to move. So you can sync with your phone. And I'm sure Samsung has the best too, because at home we have this battle going on between the iPhones and the Samsungs. Which but so Samsung also has that
Yeah.
program in it
Mm-hmm. It
as well.
does.
Um, so if your phone does not have that program, you can get that program. If your work is extremely sedentary, and then you go from work to home, you drive or you take the train or you take the bus or you walk. If you're walking, that's good, because in that walking you get exercise. Change the heels to sneakers and put in a little fast pace and take that time to
Mm-hmm.
walk. We can fit in our exercise around our routines. around our schedules. So sometimes if you haven't got
Mhm.
extra time, there is time within your day that you can take 5 minutes to walk. Or if you can't go somewhere to walk, take a walk to the bathroom or do some chair yoga. You can stretch out on your chair, move your head, bend your head for a minute, do a massage, sit down for 5 minutes, listen to some music, calm music, or take a five and say you're going to the bathroom. This is your moment. 5 minutes, time out. Because you need that time out with that. Somebody get you upset, take a time out. As I said, I like to call it the gap. Sometimes we are so reactive, we
Mhm.
don't get time enough to use that gap to really think and to really calm down. We just put out. I'm like that too sometimes. A lot of times I'm still working on it. Not perfect. Sometimes I'm very, very good, and sometimes I'm not. They say they girl with the curl, what they call it, the girl with the curl around her forehead. Sometimes she's naughty, 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 and sometimes she's horrid. Yeah. Don't test on Aries. We are
Mhm.
pepper, we are fire. When you see we get vexed, rah, and then we come down. As timid as a mouse. But all that is part of how do we
Yeah.
let off our stress. We have to figure out how do we cope with it and how we deal with it. So yes, so fit in an exercise, walking 5 minutes. As I said the last time, get a dog. Force you to go walking. Today I came in and the first thing Motsy did was run by the door. She wants to go walking. I'm tired, beat. I'm like, I can't tell her no. I have to go around the
Ready
block,
to walk.
take her for a walk. And right there, although I walked
Mhm.
during the day, but this time it was intentional, it was purposeful. Even though it was 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but I got it in, you know. So be purposeful and intentional in how we manage our
Mhm.
stress and stuff. We'll be doing yoga on Thursdays pretty soon. Join me on a Thursday. Let us do some yoga, you know. Um, different ways, different ways, different ways, different ways. Was that good for you,
Yeah.
Gail? So we have the journaling, we have the walking, we have
Yes, that was good.
exercising. You can join a gym, join a gym or get a tutor. There are lots of things on Facebook as well. You can call me up. I am a yoga instructor, yoga coach as well. I do private lessons, so we can do that as well. And I'm a life coach. We can
Mhm.
talk through the alopecia, the uncomfortable feelings, the embarrassing moments, help you build that up again. How do you deal with it? How you create your strategy going forward? So it's not the end of the world. If anything, it's a way of reframing how you see yourself and refashion yourself. Make a statement of who you are with what you have. Because this is who you're going to be, whether sometimes you like it or not. So you have to be intentional and you have to choose. Am I going to spend, I do not know how many years I have left on this earth. Am I going to spend it living in this moment? Or I'm going to spend it regretting and grieving over something that is not? Reframe it. You like a picture is in a frame, it's like a picture is in a frame, but the frame is a beautiful picture, but the frame you choose to put the picture in can either show off the picture or make the picture ugly or unattractive. By just changing the
Mhm.
frame, it makes everything different. My background, for example, as we were talking, you said, "Oh, I prefer
Right.
this than what you had last week." The white,
Mhm.
just brings it off different than the brown I had, right? It's a whole new reframing of the
Mhm.
picture. What do you want to see for yourself? And what do you want others to see? You want others to see you? Then be you. If you are like this and you hide yourself, then that's what people are going to see. They're not going to see who you are. And then they're going to keep on criticizing for what they see because they're not seeing you. No hair, nice earrings, nice makeup, or no makeup, whichever is your preference. casual clothes, dandy clothes, whichever is your preference, whichever is your style. Find your statement and be consistent with it. Whatever is your fashion style, find it, be
Mm-hmm.
consistent, and boast it. Nothing wrong about boasting who you are. Let people talk. Oh, she boastful. Yeah, of course. If I don't do
Right.
it, who's gonna do it for me? Boast yourself. Nothing wrong with that. So these are the things I would recommend on how to boost your self confidence, your self esteem, if you're going through this level of hair thinning or total alopecia, full blown alopecia. You can choose to cut everything off and spot it, or keep on trying the treatments and see where that goes. But I would suggest don't make the trying of things a never ending process. After a while, give yourself a timeline,
Right.
decide where I
Mm-hmm.
am at this time. If it's not going back, I cut it off and I reframe myself. If it's going back, all well and good, I keep going. But do not define yourself or put yourself in a box because of your hair. It's pretty hair, but you're also beautiful from within. The hair only accentuates who we are inside. That's all it is. It's an accessory.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Amen.
an
Yes.
accessory. That's all it is. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not well inside and not showing off our beauty, even though we have beautiful hair, as I say, beauty is from within, and beauty is in the sight of the beholder. So who you are comes from within, beautiful hair or not. So show off your beauty, show off who you are. And if
Mm-hmm.
alopecia is a big thing for you and where you are at in life, then decide at what point you're gonna stop trying all different things for the hair to go back and grieving over the lovely head of hair you had before, and move forward. The men spot the bald head, and a lot of the girls like to rub that shiny spot. You know, do it for you. Do it for you. Do it for you. In all things, be well within yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that. I hope you're hearing me. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you well now.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
good.
hearing
Okay,
you.
great, great, great. Because I wasn't sure. Okay. So, yes. So I want to go back to the point, and thank you so much for that. That was some really good tidbits for our listeners. I want to go back to the point of finding a tribe, finding a support group, or going to therapy. I know this is like a big deal for us Caribbean people. Um, it's like almost like I don't want people to know my business. Why I have to go and be with somebody else.
Yes,
But I have found from my experience, um, support groups are really really important. Really, you can learn so much from just being in a support group. You
yes,
can learn so much from therapy, right? Um, I don't know if people know, but I do therapy too. I am an advocate for it. Okay, so it's you telling people about your business. It's you finding help for yourself. It's you doing self care for yourself, and that's how I see it. How would you go about finding a support group? My take on it, what I would do, because I'm a big Facebook person, I would just search for it on Facebook. Some people are not as brave as that. Do you have any suggestions where they can find a support group for alopecia?
I would suggest that. A lot of people go on
Did you hear
TikTok. They
me?
can, although I wouldn't
Okay.
suggest TikTok as the go-to for thing, but you can Google therapists. You can Google therapists who do those things. Normally, you can find good therapists on there. Um, in I know in the states where we are right now, there are in the medical apps. You know, when you in a when you are medical insurance within your
Mm-hmm.
benefits, there is a recommended practitioners that you can go to. So within that app, you can search for practitioners of that particular illness that you want to go to deal with.
Right.
Like, yeah, I tried to remember, but you can always ask in your insurance group. Most times they give you an app. There is an app, or they tell you you can only go to certain
Okay.
doctors within that your medical,
Within the
your
network.
insurance group or whatever. Or the best person to recommend as well
Network, yeah.
is your general
Mm-hmm.
practitioner, your GP, right? You will have a your main doctor,
Okay. Okay.
and they will recommend. You can speak, always have a good relationship with your
Mm-hmm.
doctor, because they are the ones that are going to refer doctors to you, or good practitioners as well. So the nurses have a whole, let me tell you something, yeah. Nurses are more the bosses than the doctors. The nurses know everything. The doctors just come and do their thing, but the nurses are the the bosses, I tell you. Talk to a nurse. Very likely they will know who are the network
Yeah.
around
Okay.
the medical agency. Talk to your, as I said, your
All
general
right. Very
practitioner.
cool.
They will said give you a reference.
Okay.
You can do this search and the nurses. That should help. As you say, Facebook, they can do
Okay.
Facebook.
Thank you, Kathy.
Um
Can you hear me too?
I'm hearing you.
I guess you can. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Nope. Guess you
I
can't
hear
hear
you.
me. A point. We did stress management. We did dietary. We did exercise. I want to talk about sleep. I think sleep. Well, I not think. I know sleep is very important for every part of your body growing,
Right?
especially for your hair. Sleep is very vital to our lifestyle. If you have energy to do things, it affects your blood pressure, it affects your sugar levels, all that kind of thing. Do you have any advice to give our listeners about sleep? What's a
Definitely.
recommended amount of sleep they should have, and how is that helping with their whole wellness goal?
Definitely, Gail. Thankful that you brought that up, because how could I have forgotten sleep? You know, sleep is the mainstay of wellness. Sleep is at the bottom of everything. We need at least 7 hours of sleep. We need to stick to a sleep schedule. I do my best. When I was at school, I had a messed up schedule, because I'm a last minute person, no matter how hard I try not to be. So last minute, you see me 7 hours going straight trying to do assignments and stuff. Not recommended. Go to have an established sleep routine every night. 10 to 6, minimum 7 hours, 8 hours. Okay. Um, they said the recommended amount of sleep for a healthy adult is at least 7 hours. All right. So we play with that 7 hours.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to bed at that time. I'm going to wake up at that time. Okay, if I have to wake up at that time, then work it backwards. Do your very, very best to
Mm-hmm.
get that 7 hours of sleep. One thing I have to say though, if we have a very messed up schedule, resting the body can suffice. So let's say I sleep for 4 hours during the night, I get straight 4 hours. But during the day, I take 3 hours. It can be split up. It doesn't necessarily, it can be split up. All right. I take 3 hours or I take an hour and I just relax, allow myself to go in that restful mode. You may not fall asleep, but your body is in a restful mode. Allow the body to relax, allow the body to rejuvenate itself. And that can help as well. If that is only if you cannot get that 7 hours of sleep. Okay? Schedule it sometime during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if some people have problems falling asleep or staying asleep, and then that can be a whole new different things as well. um some people get 4 hours sleep, then they're up. A lot of men suffer with that. 4 hours, then they get up, like another 2 hours, they kind of fall back asleep, you know. But what we eat and drink or do right before we go to bed is another thing. If we watch an action movie right before we go to
Mm-hmm.
bed, everything of ours is action mode. Put down the
Mm-hmm.
phone or do not
Is
watch any
agitated.
action thing at
Yes.
least an hour before we
Mm-hmm.
go to bed. We get ourselves in a calm state. Play some soft music, um, read, journal before exercise. Exercise, read, journal, calm yourself, not the phone. The last thing you do is not getting upset by or watching Facebook. How many people watch my videos? Because that can get you in an anxious state. You know, that can get you in an anxious state, as well as put the
Mm-hmm.
phone on silent. Nothing you There is no emergency you can really deal with except with your kids at 2 o'clock in the morning. For me, my phone goes in night mode at 6
Mm-hmm.
p.m. That's why when you call me, Gail, it goes straight to voicemail, which means I have to change I have to change your status to a favorite. So when you call, I will get the call. Because my favorites are my kids.
Oh.
Yes. My favorites are my
Okay.
kids and my siblings. That's the only emergency I need to deal with in the middle of the night, or if I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
meeting at work or anything else. So during work, it's on work
Right.
mode. I don't phone calls go straight to my phone, my voicemail,
Uh-huh.
except if it's my daughter's. And meeting or not, I say excuse me and I
Mm-hmm.
take my children's calls. In the night, it's my siblings, my
Mm-hmm.
parents, and one or two. Well, I don't really have a very big thing which have to go on favorites that would mandate that I take their call in the middle of the night, you know. But I know we have certain schedules that you and I need to make as well. So by 8 o'clock too, my phone wouldn't ring. So I would have to change the status put on favorite so that it does ring.
Okay.
So we spoke about changing your favorite so your phone doesn't
Yeah.
ring and disturb you in the nights. It doesn't beep, it doesn't alarm, notifications. You don't, oh my God, notifications drive me crazy. I don't know about you. But when that phone has to ping for every message that comes on WhatsApp from everybody or everything, it drives me nuts. My phone is, we already, my philosophy on that is you already have a smartphone and you have WhatsApp and you have your groups. You will naturally keep checking it every couple of minutes. Because even though sometimes you have the notifications on, you still don't check the phone. It's just loud, making everybody else around you too anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's just me, you know. But I cannot deal with notifications.
Right.
My phone doesn't have notifications because I already still always in my phone anyway. So notifications, exercise, journaling, no phone or movies or anything an hour before you go to bed. Pay attention to what you eat. Eat at least 2 hours before you go to bed. And eat something light. Because if you eat something heavy, the heaviness gonna stay in your stomach. You're going to feel heavy. And then that's not going to activate the body having to work hard to work on the food that's in there. So the body is working, it's not going to be in a restful state. It's not going to be calm. That also is going to keep you awake. Create a restful environment, whether it's
Right. Mm-hmm.
Whether it's I'll show you mine
Mm-hmm.
right here. It's not plugged in. But as soon as I come home, sometimes, oops, oh, I turned it and all the water fell on me. Oops, the water fell on me. So you can put it on
Oh, what
the
is that?
scents and
What is that you were
it's a
showing?
diffuser. It's a diffuser. So you put the water in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one has lights. So then the mist it mist up mist. You
Mm-hmm.
put the incense in the oil. Sorry, you put
It's
the oil
mixed up, yes.
in
I
the
have
water.
a tiny one. Uh-huh.
Yes, and
Uh-huh.
then I have
Yes.
let me just turn I'll see. I have this. A bottle is nice scents, you know. The oil is in there. Bring that up. And then
Okay.
I have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I mentioned this to you before. I will just turn it a bit to see. I have my Himalayan lamp. You know, you cannot see it properly, but
Okay.
I have a Himalayan salt lamp. Also, even the way I
Mm-hmm.
set up my pictures on
Okay.
my bed, and stuff like that. I'm in my room, yes, I'm in my room. My room is my sanctuary, and I have my wooden carving that Mr. Coffee did for me from Dominica. It's very good. Go get your wood carving, something by the old mill. And my lamp has these balls. I get a hot heated massage
A
right
wooden
away.
coffin. Okay.
Heated massage. There's 5 balls in there.
Mm. Okay.
So I can get a hot body massage. Relax myself. Or you can also use
Okay.
incense. I have an incense box as well. Put up pictures of your
Okay.
family. Create your environment. Colors. Colors are
Mm-hmm.
critical in
Mm-hmm.
creating a calming space.
Yes.
So choose your colors carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Choose the furniture carefully. I love natural things. So I have my little bamboo. Hear the sense? I have also right here. I do when I'm doing my yoga, my song bowls, and I also have a gong
Oh, sound bowls. Yes.
song bowl.
Dr. Wallace has those. I don't know if you look at her on
Yes,
Facebook too. She was the first one I saw with sound bowls. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Wall is in
So
Dominica,
is that coming to you?
and I have a
No,
gong.
no, no, not
So
that Dr. Wallace. Margaret Wallace is
no,
she is in the US.
oh okay.
So
So
tell me
yes,
about the
all of
sound
these, and
bowls.
then
Is
plants,
that coming to
and then
you?
plants. So all this is coming. Mm. And I a lot of pillows.
Mm-hmm.
That's my pillow. So
Okay. Pillows.
even in living room in the space or and for me I believe in feng shui as well. Before even I knew what it was, things needed to be located
Mm-hmm.
in a specific position for me to get that energy for me to function. Later on in life I learned the word feng shui is a Chinese terms of energy flow in a space. Okay, so all that too. So
Mm.
plants,
Okay.
colors, the things that you choose, the light. As I said, as soon as I come into my space, I need to put on my lamp because that represents for me
Mm-hmm.
the light, energy, and my cabin there with the person meditating reminds just sets this space for me. And I do stones as well, so I have my stones there, and I do dried flowers. I love dried flowers, dried roses and stuff. So I have a little bouquet. You can see that there as well. So I have all of these in my space to make me feel, yeah, this is, and though I am very careful with the money, but allow yourself to spend on yourself to create that restful and peaceful calm for you. So yes, so create your restful environment. Although they say limit daytime naps as well, don't do too much, because I spoke about doing that if you cannot get your 4 hours sleep, but only if you can't. Because if you do too much daytime naps, you wouldn't be able to sleep in the night. Okay?
Right.
But then again, some people, because of their schedules, they work in the
Uh-huh.
night and they have to
True.
sleep during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But still, don't compromise on your 7 hours of sleep. We spoke about also exercise before, all right? And the managing of worry, stress management,
Uh-huh.
meditation,
Yes.
exercise, journaling. So all these things will help you to get a good sleep. If you're suffering from sleep apnea, which is an inability to sleep, or because of the this whole science between it, basically you feel like you're choking when you're going to sleep. Your tongue gets in your ear, in your throat, in your passageway, and so you have to get
Mm-hmm.
a device to keep your passageway open, so you do not stop breathing. But some can
Mm-hmm.
stop breathing while you're sleeping.
Right.
Okay, so if you're suffering with that, then you need to go see a doctor and speak to your doctor about that. Okay, because then you might have to be treated for that and given a device, and
Mm-hmm.
they might have to do some sleep tests to see how serious you are. When people snore heavily, I know I snore heavily sometimes when I'm extremely tired. Sometimes that could be an effect of having a situation like that. So be very, very aware. So I would just go again. How do we get a restful
Mm-hmm.
sleep? Minimum 7 hours. Whether it's day or night, whichever your routine is, minimum 7 hours. Put your put an alarm on your clock. Because during sleep we go through different phases of sleep. We need restful sleep. We have different phases that we definitely need, so that our bodies so can rejuvenate and heal from the day before. Because our bodies are
Mm-hmm.
in a constant state of repair, right? And healing. So 7 hours of sleep, boundaries on that. No phone or active movies or stuff, at least within the last hour before you go to sleep. Some light exercise, reading, journaling, meditation, comfortable bedding, comfortable pillows. You hardly see this on stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very important. You don't want a pillow that is too soft or too hard. You want something that can help
Mm-hmm.
you. Or some people sleep with no pillows at all. Choose your whatever works for you. Limit daytime naps or nighttime naps if you're working during the day or the night. Limit other times when you sleep, so that you can get as much hours of sleep in one space of time. And manage your worries, manage your stress. This, which
Mm-hmm.
also falls into diet. Diet is all important. What we eat, how we eat,
Mm-hmm.
um, what we eat, how we eat,
When
the
we eat
amount of
too.
food we
When we eat
eat,
too.
when we eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
As I
And the
said,
times. Yes.
at
When.
the time, um,
Mm-hmm.
I 6, oh, we are 9 o'clock already. Time runs fast when you're having fun.
Yeah,
So, no
it
later, if
does.
you go to bed at 9, I would suggest no later than 7 o'clock to eat a meal. Okay, no later than 7 o'clock. Limited times that you
Mm-hmm.
eat anything heavy. So yeah, these are the things:
Yeah.
diet, exercise, sleep, your environment, your calming environment, your colors that are choose colors that are calming to you. Um, the flow, allowing the flow of energy in your space, and yeah, that should help you to
Mm-hmm.
sleep. If you're still having issues, consult your doctor. You may have to do take
Mm-hmm.
other more intense steps in getting that good night's rest.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. These were some
You're
good
welcome,
points. These
welcome.
were some good nuggets that we got tonight. Helping us alleviate stress, helping with our wellness goals, and it will help patients with alopecia, eliminate stress because a majority of
Yes.
patients have hair loss because of that. So thank you so
Yes.
much for coming on tonight and sharing all these nuggets with us.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's
I see
always
that
my
1 hour is not
pleasure.
enough for us anymore.
Well, it is. We'll
We
just
need
keep on
longer than an
going.
hour now, huh?
Go on going. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Gail,
yeah.
for having me on.
Yes.
Always welcome. It's always great having
Mm-hmm.
conversations with you, and I appreciate it very much. And to
Mm-hmm.
all those of you who are watching or who will watch the review of that
So
again, keep on watching the plays of it. Remember, your sleep, stress management is extremely, extremely important for your
mm-hmm.
own well being and your own wellness. Live in
Yeah.
love, be intentional always. Thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Gail. And you
Thank
have a
you so much.
wonderful,
Tell them where
restful
they can find
night.
you during the week though.
Where can find me on
Well,
Home
thank you. Thank
Conversations?
you.
Can find me on Home Conversations on Tuesdays on Facebook Live. I'm working to get it elsewhere because
Mm-hmm.
people are telling me I don't know Facebook and I need to see it. So we're working on that. Okay. And so for now we're doing Home
Okay.
Conversations, but as well, if you would like some one-on-one, you can always email me, send me a message on Facebook or email me at Coach K, COACHK dot getawayholistics at gmail.com. So Coach K
Spell that again
dot
for me. Let me put it in the chat. Coach
yes,
K.
Coach K dot
Uh-huh.
getaway holistics getaway holistics
Mm-hmm.
at gmail.com. You can get me on Facebook. You can get me on Instagram as well, Kathy Robinson. And you can get me
Okay.
on LinkedIn as well, Kathy Robinson. Everything is Kathy Robinson. So,
Mm-hmm.
Kathy Robinson Peter on Facebook, Kathy Robinson on Instagram, or you can search me up as on I am Kathy Robinson. All right. So all this Kathy Robinson on LinkedIn. Can send me messages all there, and we can make as an appointment, and we can talk and see where we can help you develop uh,
Okay.
a plan to help you move forward with where you want to be. Yes. Thank you, Gail.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, restful night yourself. And
Thank
thanks
you
to
so
all of our
much.
listeners who were on tonight and for those who had comments. We had one question, but I think we answered that question about, um, I think Annette Phillip asked if it happens, if alopecia can occur with braiding. And yes, if it's too tight, it can cause tension. I just want to address that question, but we had spoken about that before. So,
Yes. Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
and have a
Annette.
wonderful night, everyone.
Thank you.
Until
Thank you,
next
Gail. Good
time,
night.
see you in two
Until next
weeks
time.
for another episode of Curl Talk.